Hey everybody, what's up? RPM with you here from rpmtech.tv, daytradingradio.com. It is like January 8th, 2012. Happy New Year, everybody. I want to show you guys a couple of new laptops that I got. Now, on vacation, I had purchased this Samsung. Now, let me go ahead and close down this ASUS real quick here. Got daytradingradio.com chat room on in that thing. Just purchased the ASUS last night. Let me get rid of this here. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to try to give you a little review on these things. Now, I was happy, very happy with I was very happy with the Samsung. Sorry, being a little bit winded here. I was doing 2 miles on the treadmill. This Samsung right here. It is very sleek and very solid. I mean, look at the back on it. It reminds me a lot of the MacBook Pro, and it's the Samsung Series 7. It is an i7 quad-core processor, the second generation quad-core processor. It's got a keyboard for the numbers right here. It's got a recessed keyboard all the way across. Huge trackpad. Now, I'm having a little trouble. There's a driver update for this thing. I don't really like the trackpad that much yet. But other than that, this laptop is a screamer. It's outperforming my custom-made i7 machine. This one has 2 video cards in it. It has a dedicated AMD graphics card that you can assign to either the flat panel or the HDMI port on the side. Or either one. It's completely switchable graphics. Very clean design. The screen, I wasn't 100% happy with it. It's got some weird, it is anti-glare, but it's got this weird kind of haze going on to it. But what I do like is it's 1600 by 900 resolution on a laptop. And you can see by the bezel, they did not waste any space on this thing. Let's see what the weight is on this machine. I got a little scale here, and let's see what this sucker weighs. Let's see. This has got an 8-cell battery in it, and it's weighing in at right 5.4 ounces, 5.47 ounces. So right about 5.5 pounds, 5 pounds 5 ounces. Now, let's put that away. I will tell you that is a nice, smoking, one of the fastest laptops you can buy with dedicated graphics. You can even do gaming with it. Now, let's put this ASUS next to it. Now, this ASUS, by the way, this right here caught on sale for $8.29 at Best Buy. During Thanksgiving, they had it for $7.99. Screaming deal. This one, however, I just picked for $7.29 on Best Buy, and it's also an i7, the same processor, okay? It's also aluminum based for the most part, but it's a little bit lighter, and I'll show you. 4 ounces, 4 pounds, 14 and a half ounces. So about a pound lighter in weight. Now, it's also a lot of power for your money. You can see it's got all the ports and everything. It's got a VGA port on it, but it is plastic on the bottom instead of aluminum like the other one. I like it. I love it. It's got a nice drive on the side. Sorry for the lighting. It's kind of bad. But it does have a glossy screen, and I'm going to put this down for a second here. Bear with me. It's got a glossy screen on it. As you can see, it's got a nice keyboard, but it does not have the number pad. And I got it password protected. Hang on a sec. Sorry about the crappy camera work. The trackpad works very nicely. It's not as large as the other one, but it does have dedicated buttons. Very smooth edge all the way around for using it as as an actual laptop itself. With the keyboard and everything, like it's sole device that you would have. I'm going to put both of them up here so you can see just a little difference. There's the Day Trading Radio chat room I had up there. But you can see the resolution on the screen is actually a lot lower. Now, I'm actually going to return this one, and I'm going to be in favor of the Samsung. And the reason why is simply the size of the screen, the would have to say the resolution on the screen is so much higher, and I thought maybe there was a washout problem with some of the screen and everything, the LCD screen on the Samsung, but I have to tell you that I'm seeing some of the similar results on the ASUS. Now the difference with the ASUS again is 1300 screen. This one is 1600 screen. 1600 by 900. This was 1368 by 7 something or whatever. Pretty common. You know, this is a 14-inch laptop. This I believe is a 15-inch laptop. But you can see the bezel on the ASUS is a lot larger, and they did a really good job getting a nice large screen in the Samsung. Now there is one thing I got to warn you, okay, about this Samsung, and it's probably one of my #1 problems that I have with it. Okay, let me slide this over. Let me show you something, and keep in mind I'm holding the camera, which I'm not very good at. The problem that I have with this computer is I was using it, working really hard on some day trading radio projects as I was in California. When I was on the plane, I was working on some code. When I was in California, I was working on some code. This is what it did to my arm right there, if you can see that. And it's because of this right here, leaned up just like that and typing just like that, okay? And right here too. And this thing has a sharp edge. What they did was they overlapped, the bottom aluminum comes up and overlaps, and then this part sits down inside of that. So this protruding edge right here, just so slightly right there. Now I could probably take a file and round that over. Who wants to do that with a $1,000 laptop, right? But that's the only thing that I would say that is just, you know, aggravating, because that, you know, just sitting there using it. Now my other arm's not like it because I use my left hand a lot of times for the actual mouse pad while I'm typing and stuff with my left or my right. So, but that's what happened right there. You can see that it wore me out. You know, it just ate a hole right in my arm. So now you can even feel there's a little spot here that's actually gotten smooth from my skin actually rubbing on it right there. Now what I did was, while I was working in California, is I set up this thing and plugged it into 2 monitors, and then I set this to the side, and I bought me a $19 keyboard, wireless keyboard and mouse. So I didn't even use the keyboard anymore. So I'm keeping this. This is going to be my home away from home broadcasts and major work computer. You can kind of see a difference in the screens. That one's glossy. This one is a matte finish, which actually in the field you probably want a matte finish. Probably more accurate color over here. It's kind of hard to tell. But anyways, this was going back. I'm going to wind up keeping this one. This is still an awesome notebook, and it's a little bit lighter than this one. But overall, this thing is just built like a solid aluminum tank. This one, a little bit more, the whole bottom is plastic. This is 8 gigs of RAM. It's an i7 quad core. This is 6 gigs of RAM. Both of them have 750 gigabyte hard drives running at 7,200 RPM. I can't really figure out a whole lot of difference, except for this one also has dedicated graphics card in the higher resolution screen. Both have built-in integrated 1.3 megapixel high definition webcams. Other than that, I like both machines. Here's a side. If I could have gotten the ASUS for $100 more, I'd keep it, you know. That was a side angle of that one. You can see side-by-side comparison. Side-by-side comparison. Let me unplug the ASUS here. Side-by-side comparison right here. The ASUS does have a battery bulge on the back, but you can see they're both basically the same width. The ASUS is maybe 1/2 inch wider. And as you can see from this angle, the Samsung is just nice and clean and flat. The ASUS has that tilt from the battery on the back. So on the front side, you can kind of see the same idea there. Okay. The Samsung is a little bit wider, but this is like a heavy gauge magnesium aluminum. This feels a little bit more plasticky. It is, however, aluminum from what I understand. It's got a texture on it. This one is more of a burnished, straight look. Absolutely. 2 of the best laptops I've ever reviewed, ever used. No complaints on either one of them, except for the minor things like the edge right there. Other than that, I like them. both of them. So we're going to keep the Samsung and roll with that. So hope you enjoyed the video. And this is RPM with rpmtech.tv and daytradingradio.com. Check you guys on the other side. Thanks.